You didn't choose your childhood, but your nervous system did, and it's still running your love life like a haunted script. That panic when your partner doesn't text back, that urge to people please until you're empty, that voice whispering, "You'll be abandoned if you speak your truth." None of that is random. It's your childhood trauma speaking through your adult relationships. And the scariest part? You might not even remember the original wound, but your body never forgot. Today, we're uncovering the 7 invisible ways early pain rewires your brain, distorts your boundaries, and sabotages your connections, often without you even realizing it. Most people think trauma means abuse, violence, or dramatic events, but psychology shows that trauma is less about what happened and more about what didn't happen. The absence of safety, the lack of attunement, the silence when you needed to be seen. Even in good homes, a child can feel like a burden for having needs. And that message, "your emotions are too much," gets buried deep in the subconscious. Fast forward to adulthood. You're not dating your partner. You're unconsciously replaying old survival strategies. If you were ignored as a child, you might become hyper-vigilant in love, scanning for signs of rejection in every pause, every tone. If you were punished for setting boundaries, you now say yes when you mean no, terrified that honesty will cost you connection. And if love was conditional, "I'll care if you behave," you now perform perfect and suppress your true self to earn affection. This isn't weakness. It's your psyche's brilliant, heartbreaking attempt to protect you from pain you never chose. But here's the hidden trap. These survival mechanisms, once life-saving, now keep you stuck in cycles of anxiety, avoidance, or emotional exhaustion in your closest relationships. You're not broken. You're adapting. And the first step to freedom: recognizing the patterns. 1. You confuse intensity with intimacy. If your childhood was chaotic, calm love feels boring. You're drawn to partners who trigger familiar adrenaline, jealousy, drama, hot and cold behavior, because your brain mistakes anxiety for connection. 2. You fear abandonment. So you abandon. First, to avoid the pain of being left. You push people away the moment things get real. You ghost, pick fights, or withdraw, creating the very outcome you dread. 3. You overgive to earn love. As a child, you learned love was transactional. Now you exhaust yourself being useful, cooking, fixing, soothing, believing that if you stop serving, you'll be discarded. 4. You can't trust safe people. Kindness feels suspicious. Consistency feels fake. Your trauma brain is wired to expect betrayal, so you test, provoke, or sabotage stable partners, waiting for the other shoe to drop. 5. You dissociate during conflict. When your partner raises their voice, even calmly, you shut down. Your body flashes back to moments when emotions meant danger, so you go numb and your partner feels abandoned. 6. You mirror your caregiver's role. If you were your parent's emotional caretaker, you now seek partners who need fixing. You're not in a relationship, you're in a rescue mission, repeating the only love you knew. 7. You feel guilty for having needs. Wanting space, reassurance, or honesty triggers shame. Deep down, you believe your needs are selfish because as a child, expressing them led to punishment, neglect, or guilt. Here's the darkest truth. Your trauma doesn't just shape who you choose, it shapes how you were chosen. You don't just attract unavailable partners, you become unavailable in ways that mirror your past. And the most insidious twist? You often recreate the very dynamic you swore you'd escape. The daughter of a controlling father ends up with a jealous boyfriend. The son of an emotionally absent mother becomes the strong, silent partner who never shares his pain. Why? Because the unconscious mind seeks familiarity, not happiness. It would rather suffer in a known pattern than risk the unknown, even if the unknown is healing. This isn't fate, it's neural wiring. Every time you repeated a survival response as a child, you carved a groove in your brain. Now as an adult, your nervous system defaults to that groove, even when it hurts you. But, and this is critical, awareness rewires the brain. You are not doomed to repeat your past, but you must stop blaming yourself for the patterns and start seeing them as messages from your younger self begging to be heard. Healing begins with one radical act: Stop fighting your reactions and start listening to them. That panic when your partner is quiet, it's not about them. It's your inner child saying, "I was left alone once, don't let it happen again." Instead of shaming yourself, say, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I've got us now." Next, practice earned secure attachment. Even if you didn't get it as a child, you can build it now through therapy, safe friendships, and conscious relationships where you gently test new ways of being. Set a tiny boundary. Say, "I need a minute," instead of exploding or disappearing. Ask for what you want, without apology, and choose partners who respond with curiosity, not criticism. Most importantly, stop asking, "Why am I like this?" and start asking, "What happened to me?" That shift from self-blame to compassionate understanding is where true healing begins. You are not damaged, you adapted. And now, with awareness, you can choose a new way. So tonight, look in the mirror and say, "I'm not repeating my past, I'm rewriting it." If this resonated, drop your comments if you're breaking the cycle. Share this with someone who keeps choosing the wrong love, not because they're broken, but because they're brave enough to heal, because your childhood shaped you. But it doesn't get to define your love story.